last little bit, we've got a few does that have fed out in this food plot here in front of us. This stuff has grown up so high you can barely even see them, especially as they get a little closer to us. So I just have branches in the way. I don't know if I can take that shot, man.
I'm Josh Hilliard. We're in South Carolina hunting velvet whitetails in August, and we're kicking off season 3 of the method.
I'm Mark Haslam, and I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I'm not gonna kill every buck here, and there's bucks that are gonna grow, I'm gonna get on camera, they're gonna die of old age or disease, and so why not have people up here to enjoy the experience?
There's deer back there. That's a buck. Awfully skittish for like early in the year. There's peanut and cotton fields out here. We're trying to catch them going back into this thick bedding here. Not too shabby, being within bow range of 3 bucks. First morning in on a new property.
This farm was a vacant raw piece of land, meaning there were no structures whatsoever, no houses, no running water, no power to it. Since then, built this house here, and that was a huge game changer. I know that we're gonna hunt this week. We're gonna see some bucks, but I wanna see them on the ground. I also just get thrilled by having someone up here and them seeing a buck or them feeling a tag. So I'm hoping that we can put it together and, grip some velvet.
Excited for this morning, heading back into where we saw those 2 shooters yesterday. We're gonna get in there, just pop a platform up and see what happens. Those 2 deer were the last deer we saw come through yesterday, so hopefully they're working a similar pattern here this morning.
In this game zone of South Carolina, the season opens August 15th, and it is bucks only, antler deer only until September 15th, and that is to give fawns more time with their mother does. They're still nursing, and to give them a little more time to become acquainted and to be able to feed on their own, which right now, if you're seeing a fawn in a food plot, they're just eating away at everything out there.
Back in here where we saw those 2 big bucks cross through. We've seen 0 deer so far. Maybe they're just moving early this morning, I don't know. Kind of a crapshoot in these early season hunts.
The goal here is to hopefully harvest some nice bucks, and we're gonna hunt over food sources, ag fields, some peanuts. We're gonna hunt over food plots that we planted, and we're also gonna hunt in the big timber, and that kind of ties back into what we do here as far as TSI work. There's a lot of natural food, and we have that natural bedding thickets, and so this is the first hunts that we've had all season. There's gonna be a lot of deer around us, and they're gonna be around some humans for the first time since the past 6 or 8 months, and that's the challenge.
All right, we're set up for night number 2 in South Carolina. It's hot, humid, sticky, just drenched in sweat just from walking in here and getting set up. So I got a couple shooting lanes, and the hope is that they're gonna come out of the bedding, hit this food plot here, and then continue on to some of the destination ag fields out further into the middle of the property, like some peanuts and stuff like that, so.
I think it's just a lot tougher hunting situations than I thought. I was expecting brutal conditions being in South Carolina in August. It's been hot, it has been humid.
It's been raining a lot this summer. When it rains, yeah, it'll cool off during the rainstorm, but soon the sun's gonna pop out, it's gonna steam up. So that just makes it extremely uncomfortable for the hunter. Mosquitoes, gnats, ticks. The deer, none of that bothers them. They're born outside, they live outside their entire life, but that's a challenge for us as a hunter in getting over that mentally.
It's a challenging hunt Not only the conditions, but the deer are tough too. We tried to make a move on the 2 that we saw the first day, hoping they'd maybe do the same thing the next, and we haven't seen them since.
These are the first hunts of the year. You're gonna have a lot of does, fawns, and young bucks that you aren't gonna shoot. They've been eating on these food sources all summer, and they're gonna be right on top of you when you're trying to get within bow range of a mature buck, and that's just more eyes and more noses all around you as you're dripping with sweat.
I think just like the unpredictability of deer movement here has been a real challenge.
We've got maybe 10-15 minutes left of shooting light. Just the doe and 2 fawns so far. We might be switching over to the gun this early season. We still got time tonight. Just a little bit of time left, so fingers crossed.
QDM is quality deer management, and that's a philosophy as far as managing whitetail deer. Our harvest goals going in each season is based on historical data. After each hunt, someone's gonna log where they hunted, the time of day, the wind, what they saw. All that data we put into a software, and that'll give us the fawn recruitment, how many fawns are surviving this summer. It'll tell you how many average of does we're seeing per buck, and understanding how many deer you have on your property per square mile. If you don't really have an understanding of that, it's hard to gauge how many does you need to shoot. Whitetail deer, pretty much most of the year, they eat and they hide. Of course, it's a lot different in the fall. They start going into the pre-rut, they start socializing, making signs, and then leading into the breeding season, so it's a lot different. Deer are social, but they eat and they hide, and you gotta give them what they need. Conservation does get thrown around a lot, and a lot of people might not understand how conservation really plays into the whitetail deer. But the more you pay attention to what's going on in the southeast and just the growth of civilization, the land's being fragmented tremendously. And by improving the habitat, you're gonna attract mice and rabbits, and all that is just small game for the predators, which are always gonna be on the landscape. And all that's just gonna help better your deer herd.
Things look a little bit different this morning. It's pouring rain. We are sitting in a tower blind here with a rifle. So we're switching things up a little bit. Just heard a gunshot. Hopefully that was Mark. Didn't sound too far away. It was a little muffled, but it's raining and a lot of pines, so it was down from the direction he was at. So he just sent a text, "Holy F, I'm shaking." So that was him. He just says the biggest velvet buck he's killed. He's pumped, with a few other choice words.
It's done.
There it is.
I can now relax until next year.
There you go, man. Congrats. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
That's a big buck.
I mean, that's one of the biggest bucks I've killed up here, velvet or no velvet.
Yeah, that's a big deer.
Today was one of those times where he's right there, didn't think about it,
No time,
heart's
yeah.
not going. I mean, think about anything, just instinct.
Yep.
You know what to do and shot. And
That's almost the best when it just kind of like happens right away. You don't have time to really think about it too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's still there, and hope y'all can help me.
Yeah, let's go get him.
He came in on this right here.
Well, congrats, man.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome. That's a great buck.
Yeah, he's something else. I can't be more excited. And like I said, I mean, even without the velvet, this is one of the biggest bucks I've shot here,
Really nice deer.
without question. You can create this setup
Right.
with clear-cut smaller sections like this, planting pine trees, generate the income, and then you're creating bedding, and then you do some TSI work, thin these, burn. We got some volunteer pine trees, but a lot of briars. I mean, this is all cover, safety, and food. This is really all you need to put together.
We don't get these opportunities at home to hunt them in velvet. It's a pretty cool experience. Awesome deer. Awesome deer.
So a skinning shed is very common on hunting land in the southeast. What we have is a basic shed that has a winch. Lift the deer up, skin it, take the hide off, gut it, hose it off, clean it up real nice, and we have a walk-in cooler. One more aspect of it, not only is it a functioning tool you can use, but it's the social aspect. After the hunt, people gather at the skinning shed, whether they have something clean or not, and they're talking about what they saw. They're having a cold drink. We're all here, we're socializing, and we're enjoying the camaraderie of the deer camp.
All right, it's Friday morning, getting down to the wire here. We got today and tomorrow left.
So far, no shows this morning. We had one doe kind of skirt behind us. Ideally, we won't need to worry about anything after this morning, but it's looking like we might need to have a game plan for the afternoon, too.
The biggest takeaway, just like the camaraderie of their camp here and the family atmosphere. And I just love that part of deer hunting, and you don't get that all the time. Man, Southern hospitality is no joke. It's the real deal when people talk about that. Just be able to get away a little bit, spend some time at deer camp in August, like who gets to do that? Not many people. So we have really enjoyed our time here with the Haslams. Come back from a morning hunt, Mark's dad, Harry, has had breakfast ready for us, and coffee's always on, and we've eaten very well for dinners with venison shanks and backstrap and venison burgers. Some of the nicest people you'll meet just invited us right into their home and camp. Like, we've been a part of it for a long time. I can't thank them enough for really including us in this experience.
That have fed out in this food plot here in front of us. This stuff has grown up so high you can barely even see them, especially as they get a little closer to us. I just had branches in the way. I don't know if I can take that shot, man.
We just finished up our last sit of the trip in South Carolina. Came that close to getting a shot on a buck. So it goes, that's hunting. made the decision not to try to squeeze off a shot at a buck I wasn't able to identify. So I feel good about the decision I made. There's really, no other decision in my opinion, and maybe we'll be back here at some point someday. So thank you to the Haslams for having us out. Really appreciate it. I had a great time.